Welcome back to the Real Estate Reserve Podcast. I'm Jason Balin from Hard Money Bankers, Ian Horowitz from Equity Warehouse, and back in studio, Devon Kennard. Looking forward to a great conversation with Devon. He was originally on the podcast a few weeks ago. Has a really intriguing story from going from playing in the NFL for 10 years to acquiring a good-sized portfolio of about 29 units, 15 properties, has been invested in over 40 syndication deals, and is also a pretty sizable hard money lender as well. So he shared a lot of good tips and nuggets. We wanted to invite him back on to talk about the deal that changed his life. Devon, how are you? Welcome back. Maybe just do a real quick intro again, and then kind of dive into a deal that has changed your life over the years.
What's up, guys? Glad to be back. Devon Kennard, 9-year NFL veteran, and been investing since I got into the NFL, so over 10 years now. And yeah, excited to be back. And I'm going to go over two deals. I couldn't think of just one, so I'm going to go over two that I think impacted me a ton. The first one is the first value add deal I did. So I started out buying turnkey properties, but I left some meat on the bone when you're buying turnkey because I had to buy at or close to market value. So the first value add I did was a duplex in Tampa, and I bought it for $550,000. I put about $100 in, so I was all in for $650. And when I was done with the renovation, it got appraised for $875, and I bought it cash and renovated it cash all up front. I didn't want to deal with a whole lot of holding costs. And the rent is over $6,000. It's like $6,050. So yeah, I did really good on that one. And I've since refinanced, got more than half of my money out. I don't like going over a 50% LTV. So that's kind of my rule. But going through that experience, seeing the extra equity I got from building out the team to do the value add myself. If I were to buy that deal, turnkey like I used to, I would have paid probably $850 for it, which is what it was worth. So, by being able to get $200K plus of equity and see what that process was like, that showed me even out of state, if I build the right team, I could do it. And that's really impacted my investment. And now I want to do that more in Arizona where I am locally, but also in the Tampa market because I believe in my team. Now, the second deal I wanted to go over is the first private deal that I did as a lender. And honestly, it was a shitty deal. Knowing now I shouldn't have done it. But one thing I've always been able to evaluate is good operators. So my first ever loan was a second position loan. I didn't check to see who was in first. I didn't do any of the due diligence that you should probably do, but it was a really, really good operator. And he was willing to pay me a high interest. I think he understood that I was giving him a really good deal because I should have did a draw schedule even with that. Like I pretty much just gave him the full $200,000 right up front. Here you go. But I charged him 18% interest. I made all that money. I made a good interest on it, got my money back. But more than anything, it showed me that was some of the easiest money I could make. And that spawned me starting to lend a little more, learning more and more. And it really led me to today with owning my own private lending company and learning a lot about that business and how I want to grow that. So yeah, those are the two deals I feel like impacted my life and my journey a ton over the last couple of years.
Yeah, that's awesome. And guys, you should go back and listen to the first episode where you talked about, and you kind of breezed over it, is why you were buying turnkey, because you had a lot of work to do in the NFL, and that's what you had to do first. And you talked a lot about that in the first episode. Can you just kind of talk about like what your mind shift change was from going? Was it all about the money, or was it, hey, I know I got some time freedom, or I'm more comfortable with it to be able to make that mind shift change to take on a value add deal?
Yeah, I felt like I had the knowledge finally. Like there was enough accumulation of knowledge I understood, and I felt confident in the team that I had in place. I had people that I can lean on to go make sure my contractor was actually doing the work. I had a deal finder who got me the property under market value, so that helped. So I felt really comfortable with the team on the ground and how I could keep them accountable. So I made my contractor sign an agreement on the budget, but also the timeline, to where it's like, okay, I'm going to know, and you got to stick to this budget, and there's going to be penalties if you don't. If I would have done a deal like that earlier on, I would have known to do that. but how do I manage a project from out of state? Well, hey, you got to hit certain markers, and you're not going to get, your next payment until you hit it. And if you're way late, you're helping me set this timeline horizon. So if you're late, now you're going to hit deductions, and it's going to penalize you. So that was really something that I learned over the years. And I'm like, okay, I feel like I have the right infrastructure in place to hold them accountable, and the team to help me make sure that things are going according to plan.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. I think that makes sense. And I think, what your position was, knowing the story from the episode a few weeks ago of how you got there and putting the two together now, it's like, yeah, dude, that does make sense. You needed time. You were concentrating on your primary job. And that's how a lot of people get started in real estate. Concentrate on your W-2, get this thing going, and then it becomes a real business. And it's like, cool, I feel comfortable. Let me go and take that next step, that next leap of faith to get to that next level. And that's awesome. And I'm glad your deal that you thought was a shitty one wound up working out. And,
Jason would not approve.
Jason would not approve. I promise. As soon as you said second position, I was like, he's out. He's zoned out.
Well, probably over 60% ARV.
Well, I mean, you saw that 18% and your eyes lit up, and you were like, oh, I can make more money if I do it like this. I feel like you're right. You also got a lot more potential risk, but at least you did identify lending to a good person, a good borrower, good character.
I feel like that's where I've saved myself early in my lending journey. And that's also why until recently, I haven't even attempted to raise any money, because I wanted to build out the right systems and really understand, the risk. So, I've lent over $6 million now, and it's been on my own capital.
Yeah. Guys, go back and listen to the episode a few weeks ago, because he talks about his work ethic and, being locked in all the time. And I could just say from both episodes, like every time we talk to you, I get jazzed up. Because like, this dude is fucking locked in. Like, I'm ready to go. And I was thinking about when you're talking about going to the gym 90 minutes in the morning, I'm like, I don't think I can handle that. Like, I got to wait till the afternoon to be awake and alive for that, because it's got to be intense, man. But it's awesome. Talk to you again and see your journey. I'm excited to see where you are, not only 10 years from now, but just in a couple months, because you're going to be doing big things. I'm pumped to watch it, so I'm super excited.
Man, thanks, guys, and we're gonna have to do this every year or two. I'd love to hop on again with you guys.
Yeah, we'll keep it running back real quick. I know you talked about your book, Real Estate Side Hustle, on the first episode. Just remind everybody how they can find and go buy that book if they're interested.
Yeah, so Real Estate Side Hustle, it's all about how to invest passively in real estate through buying small multifamily and single family properties, syndications, private lending, and eventually triple net leases. I think those are the best strategies. But more importantly, I talk about the SOPs, standard operating procedures, and team you need in place to do each. So I think it's a really impactful book that can really help change lives. So yeah, go order. It's on Amazon, or you can head to my website at devonkennard.com. So yeah, appreciate it, guys. Go buy a copy.
Guys, we'll get all that in the show notes for you. Go check it out. Super excited. And again, the best compliment we can give Devon is a share. We don't care about the likes and the subscribes and all that other stuff. Let's share this episode. Let's get his story out there. It's relatable. He was in the NFL. I was in the fire department. They're basically the same thing. It's all a relatable story. We'll catch you guys on the next one.
Thanks for tuning in to the Real Estate Reserve podcast. Do us a favor and like, comment, and share our broadcast. It helps the algorithm and helps us spread the word too. Till next time, thank you for tuning in.